Hey guys, how are you? Ignore my voice. I know my voice is just not great, especially considering that I've been sick for a little while. I got a head cold and it sat right, actually it sat right here and right there. It has not gotten to my lungs. It is not, didn't have a fever, any of that. So, um, happy, happy, happy Sunday afternoon tea. I know you usually do Sunday morning tea, but the afternoon is what we got going on. Um, Last night I was going to do a live post, but Murlet number one had her last Cheyenne Youth Symphony concert, which was so beautiful to watch. It's so beautiful. These kids are so talented when you watch them. Um, when you watch them sawing on their fiddles and their violas and their cellos and their basses and all, it's just really beautiful. But yeah, so that was their last concert because given how um, hey Sarah, good to see you. Oh, it's so great to see you. Given how the disease, the COVID-19 is progressing through our country, yeah, it was probably the last one they're going to have for a while. And so the kids got to play, and that's good. And we got to see them, and I did record them, so I have it for posterity. But it was really great to see them play, especially now that things are shutting down and we don't get to go to. We had to change where they were going to have rehearsal. I'm hoping that actually they'll say no, you shouldn't have rehearsal at all. You shouldn't get together. I watched the video posted. Kids are so wonderful, aren't they? Aren't they amazing? They're so. I mean, it was so fun. I've watched the video several times. It just makes me smile and laugh, and it's just so wonderful to see my kid playing. She loves it, which is good because it was a wonderful video. It turned out really great. I was surprised that I can do that. So COVID-19. I'm sure it's on everybody's mind. We we are kind of battening down the hatches and trying to stay away from people and just do stuff from home. Now, for me, it's not that big of a deal. I work from home all the time, and I spend a lot of time in this here room and just write and write and write and write. So for me, it's not going to be that much of a change, except for that I'm going to have a whole bunch of other people in my house with me. For Mr. SM, he's been talking to his boss about teleworking because frankly he shouldn't be going. I mean, a lot of the stuff that he can actually do from home, so there's no point in going in, but it's a little harder to get people to understand why he needs to telework. We're both getting over this head cold, and of course we have an ear infection. Yay. So the big thing being, stay away from people, don't touch your face, don't touch it. And I push up my glasses, but I try not to touch my face. It's been hard to do that. Face touching is really difficult, but I have been washing my hands a lot and trying to stay away from other people. I'm sure my sickness makes people nervous, but it is just an ordinary head cold. I want you guys to know that I do not have COVID-19. I do not have the flu. There was no fever. There's no fatigue. There's a lot of mucus because that's why I lost my voice and my nose is full and so are my sinuses. There's a lot of mucus, and that's one of the things that COVID-19 doesn't have is a lot of mucus. So yeah, so we've been, but because we are sick and we don't want to give it to anyone, we've been kind of staying away from people and doing our shopping and then getting home, not doing anything else. I've been keeping up on the CDC and the WHO, the World Health Organization, just kind of keeping an eye on things and what they suggest. It looks like now is the best thing to do is just stay home, stay away from people. COVID-19 has not changed my life at all. It's been the same recluse I've always been. Right. I mean, if this is the way you normally are, you're not going to notice much of a difference. The only trick will be getting supplies from the stores because, either people are panic buying or they're not even getting shipments anymore. it's tricky. Also, the stores around here, at least, there's a couple of them, are limiting hours, which means that they can clean the store when nobody's here, and that's great. Except for that means it limits when people can come, so you get a lot more people at certain hours. There's pros and cons. They do need to clean the stores, so better not to be there. Yeah, the advantage of being agoraphobic. This is the only time that's an advantage, which is good. I mean, it's good. It'll keep you away from people. It has not helped with distractions of my kids and stuff like that. We do have a backyard, which is good, that is fenced off from everyone, so they can get outside a little bit. We just won't be going anywhere. Wyoming has chosen not to shut down the schools yet. I'm thinking they should, because the more we self-isolate, the sooner we can get ahead of this. And the sooner that we can start really shutting this down. But Wyoming has this isolationist perspective, meaning they think, well, we have such a small population and we're all spread out, it's not nearly as big a danger. But we also have small hospitals and small clinics that only have a limited amount of beds to take care of the people that do get sick. So it's probably better actually to shut things down so that our population, which isn't very sick right now, doesn't get worse or doesn't get sick at all. Call it overreaction, but on the other hand, nobody gets sick. But they haven't thought that way ahead yet. And I'm nervous because I don't want to get it. And I don't want my kids to be carriers. I mean, right now, it looks like the young people aren't getting as sick or getting, or they're recovering faster. And they're not getting the devastating pneumonia that comes with this stuff. Great. But I'm not young. And neither is Mr. SM. And right now, we're already immune compromised in the sense we have this head cold and, ear infection and stuff like that. So, I would really rather they had said, no practices, no rehearsals, we're done. I'd really prefer that. I watched a video that was made by a epidemiologist who lives in Bluffton. Hey, Mary, nice to see you. Yeah, Sarah said that she has 2 to 3 months of supplies on hand. That's good. That's good. The epidemiologist from Bluffton, Ohio, who really set it out in stark black and white numbers of why it's important just to avoid everyone, why it's important to shut down and back off. And the importance is, even if only a few people get sick, the amount of people that need hospital beds and the amount of hospital beds that need to be hospitalized, the amount of hospital beds that are in any given hospital and or community is limited. So how about we all just avoid each other? We'll see. The video was sobering and frightening, because let's say you do get sick and it gets really bad, you have to go to the hospital. Let's hope the beds aren't full and you can get there, right? And that's the big thing. That's why people are saying, don't gather in groups at all. Stay with your families. Stay, especially the ones that are immune compromised. So yeah, it is a good time to batten down the hatches and stay home, and clean everything you can. Clean your light switches and your door handles and your bathroom counters and your your kitchen counters, and anything your hands touch, right? Clean all those things, because your phones. Take wipes, clean your phones. Take and your keyboards and your mice. I know they might squeak a little bit. We have a couple of cases here in Alvin that is presumptive. Rodeo Houston was canceled on Wednesday, and then the shelves of toilet paper that were gone. Yeah, it's the same. It's the same in Cheyenne. We don't even have any presumptive yet. I suspect it's here because we have I-25 going north and south, and we have I-80 coming across. I suspect it's here. We haven't had any reported cases, so we don't have any way to verify that. But, all the toilet paper's gone. Note to y'all, toilet paper isn't what you need, because this disease doesn't have diarrhea, so it's not really toilet paper you need. Yes, it's nice to have that to wipe your butt, but you can always use a washcloth. It's not as convenient, and you'd have to do more laundry. But, pens. She said pens need to be naturalized. Yeah. Seems to be migrating out from Oklahoma City, and I live 40 miles safe. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Denria. That's exactly it. And hello, yes. Exactly. It is something that you have no idea who has it. And the problem is people have it and don't show symptoms for 14 days. So you don't know who you've interacted with who might have it, and then you don't find out till later. So, the precautions you can take are just staying away from people. That way you don't interact with anyone that may or may not have it. You don't know. Toilet paper is not the biggest thing you need. Really, you kind of need food and soap. That's pretty much and that's what I ended up buying. I ended up buying food and extra hand soap, and I teach school. Yeah, you're just waiting. Oh, exactly. School, because I used to joke. I don't joke so much anymore, but I used to joke that schools are CDC, Centers for Disease Contagion, because the kids get sick and then they just pass it around to everybody, and then we all get sick, right? Well, this is a lot more serious. This is not nearly as funny, but it's true. A lot of schools are we all congregate at schools, right? You got parents, and you got kids, and you got teachers, and you got administrators. Everybody's there, so they get to share everything, and then they go home and they pass it to the rest of the population. So yeah, it's what we can do is stay home. Now, again, one of the things that Wyoming has said is, well, we will lose our funding, our budget, if we don't have 185 days of school per year. I think those rules could be suspended to keep people from dying, because if you also don't have students, you don't need a budget because there's nobody there. So there has to be a balancing point. We can't just say, well, the old rules have to apply. Old rules don't apply. No one in living history has experienced this before in this country, right? In living history, there's nobody living that has dealt with this. People that were living in the Spanish flu of 1918 have either died or were babies at the time, right? Nobody in living history knows what this is like. This is a whole new world for us. So the old rules are not going to really do well and apply to what's really going on now. I work in fast food restaurant, constantly washing hands. We double hand wash exactly. I've always bought in bulk, so I didn't panic buy. Exactly. And I've often bought in bulk, and when I saw this coming, I bought things like rice and potatoes and beans, things that, they're not very interesting necessarily, but they're hearty and you can make stuff with. Rules are guidelines and should be modified according to the situation. You're absolutely right. Because, like I said, none of us alive today have ever experienced this before. Ever. Never, ever, ever. And, I'm speaking about the U.S. because that's the one that I have experience with. And obviously Italy thought they were going to be fine. And now they're realizing just how messed up this disease is. Now, granted, no, I'm not going to bring a caveat to that. They thought that they were going to be able to just be fine with hand washing. And I believe we're about 10 days behind them, how we're dealing with this. How about we skip to their 10 days and realize it's going to get bad? And to think allergy season is here pretty much too. Yeah, part of the reason I've got ear infections and this head cold is from the allergies. They set it off. See, I'm coughing. into my throat. Dry cough, people think it's allergies when it's not. You are absolutely right. That's right. I have a wet cough. I've been spitting up gunk coming out of my nose for days. So yeah, I don't have COVID-19. I promise. I promise. Even though I sound awful. And no fever. No fever. And yeah. So here's what I am saying to all y'all. Take care of yourselves. If you don't have to go to work, don't. If you don't have to go out, don't. Stay home. Do Sudoku. Read books. Hey, I have 32 books y'all can grab and buy online. They're all ebooks. So, you don't even have to get up and go to a bookstore, although you can. I wish I could tell you to go to libraries, but a lot of the libraries are closing. So take responsibility for you. You can't change what other people do, but you can change what you can do. And if you can, stay home. If you can, clean everything. You are most important. You are most important, so take care of you. I love ebooks for that reason. Exactly. I mean, shoot, you can get them anywhere and you can get them immediately and they're right here and you have a Kindle and you can reread them. I mean, I know you don't want to reread books. Most people want to read new books, but if you don't have enough, you can always reread them. And all those paperbacks you've been meaning to read. See this pile back here? I have a pile of paperbacks right here. One of them, this is cool. Look at this. I found this old book. It was in our books that we've carried from different places. Little tiny book. Do you see? It's not even as big as my hand, right? Little tiny book. It is Northanger Abbey by Jane Austen. Can you believe it? I have a Jane Austen book. I had no idea I had a Jane Austen book. And this one was published. It's the World's Classics, number 355. It was published. I believe this one was published, this edition was published in 1958. So it's antique. Gosh, 1958. That's 62 years ago. And so I found this little tiny book and I'm like, I have never read that. And it's right here. I don't even have to go to the library. It's right here. So I will be reading Northanger Abbey, and let's see. Sorry. It's a good time to spend gardening. It totally is. If you have the ability to spend gardening or you have all these seeds you've collected, go put them in the ground. We planted all of our irises, so hopefully they'll come up. I have plenty of books and ebooks. Yes. A friend just said their governor just shut down restaurants and bars until the 30th. Yeah. Because think of it this way. One person posted that a lot of restaurant workers don't get sick leave and they don't get time off, paid time off. And so they have to go to work. They have to work, right? They have to make money. So they go and they're not feeling great. Yeah, that's another way that can spread. We really have to change the rules. We need to have to suspend some of these things because the population needs it. I didn't think that was a thing they could do. I think so. I think it has to do with social health and state health. I really wish the Wyoming State Health Association would be saying, no, let's get ahead of this. We're not sick yet. Let's not spread it. Let's stop. Everybody stop. Everybody just stay home. Yeah, I really wish they would do that. But they're so isolationist in some ways that I think that again, nobody's ever experienced this, so they don't think it's going to be that bad. Look at Italy. Okay. Anyway, so just take care of yourselves, please, 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 please. I was scheduled to go to Nashville at the middle of next month, and I'm kind of watching and waiting. I don't think I'm going to go. It's a decision, and I wasn't going to announce this, but it's a decision that I'm making because one, I'm already sick with that head cold, And that means my immune system's already working on something. The trip I would take would go from Cheyenne to Denver, or not Denver, Cheyenne to Dallas to Nashville. Nashville already has cases of coronavirus, and I don't know about Dallas. I haven't been paying attention. But I don't need to be in a flying tin can with other people who may or may not have symptoms, right? Okay. And then when I go to Nashville, I don't want to be quarantined there. If I'm going to be quarantined, I want to stay here. So I'm thinking that maybe I will be staying home. And like I said, I wasn't planning on announcing it yet because I was watching and waiting, but it's getting worse. Our government says schools need to decide on their own fate. That's what ours said too. That's what ours said too. So many conferences are canceling left and right. Yeah. Several power companies in NC are postponing power cuts for non-payment because people are being out of work. Well, exactly. You know, these big companies that say, well, you have to pay anyway. If we're out of work, we can't go to work. We're not getting paid. There's no money coming in, so we can't hand it to you. Which is good. Yes. Denrio says it's good. It's really good. And that's what needs to happen. These companies need to get into this idea that this is nothing we've ever experienced before. We need to change the rules right now. It won't last forever. Eventually it's going to die out, but we don't know how long that will be. And, vaccines not going to become available for at least, I think the last number I heard was 18 months. It's a year and a half. So this is going to be a process. And it's going to be something that we all have to make changes for. It's not going to be easy. Be kind to yourselves. Be kind to your family members that you're stuck with. Be kind to your neighbors, especially if you have elderly neighbors. If you aren't sick and are showing no signs, see if you can do shopping for them, right? Go pick up stuff for them and bring it to them and then leave it on their front porch. See if you can help them in any way. If you have any extras that you aren't using, and if they need it, please. It's kind of that whole perspective of it takes a village to raise a child. Well, it takes a village to take care of a village. If you can be extra and generous, do it. Not only is the karma good, but these are how connections are made. These are how people survive. This disease is particularly devastating to people 60 and older. And, we're not getting any younger. So that's it. And do wellness checks, right? Because a phone call can save lives. You're absolutely right. She's making great points. Read all these comments. These are wonderful. Check on folks. Call your family. Call your older friends. Find out. Matter of fact, I need to do that today. I need to make a phone call. So these are people that need your extra attention, your extra kindness, your extra compassion, your extra love. We are, if nothing else, humans are a herd, regardless of all these shapeshifter stories that we write. We are a herd species, and being kind and taking care of each other, that's big. That's huge. And in a world of capitalism where, money is the bottom line, compassion becomes this amazingly valuable quality. If you have any extra, please, please, please offer it to your friends, your family, your neighbors, strangers that you see, although hopefully you're avoiding them. But, there was a woman when I was doing my shopping who we were looking at the empty shelves of cleaners, right? And she's like, I need baby wipes. I don't have any baby wipes. And I said, if you can find the ingredients, you can make your own baby wipes, right? It's not as much fun. You can always use a wet washcloth, but if you can find the ingredients, you can make your own baby wipes. Just Google the recipe online. You can make your own hand wipes, those like disinfectant wipes. You can make your own if you can find rubbing alcohol and what was the other thing? Oh, I just lost it. Well, you could make your own hand sanitizer with rubbing alcohol and aloe gel and um, essential oils and stuff like that. And then you can make your own, sanitary, hand sanitizer, for the times when you can't get to soap and water. But there was wipes that you could make the recipe, put it in, and you can have your own paper towel wipes that, yeah. So I get my daughter to do my shopping. I'm already missing one lobe of my right lung. Yeah, exactly. Oh, and you have minor heart issues. Yeah, you don't want to go outside. No, that's exactly it. Get other folks to do the shopping and leave them on your front doors. Yeah, absolutely. So there are recipes out there. If you can find the ingredients, you can make your own stuff. And that's important, and just take care of yourselves. I mean, wash your hands and read books. I've got lots of books for you guys to read. I have, let's see, the Cheyenne Cowboys and the Triple Star Ranch. There are 3 books in that series. There's the Cloudburst Colorado series. There's 6 books in that series. There's the Bad Boys Beta Squad, which is military romance, romantic suspense. That one is, 5 books. There's the Rift series, which is kind of fantasy, science fiction fantasy. That one's got 3 books in it. There is the Warbler Peninsula series, which is a paranormal romance set in a little town in Michigan. There are 3 books in that series. There's a 2-book serial. There will be 4, but I haven't finished them yet. That has 2 books right now. It's called The Ivory Road. There are 2 books in that series. There's a few standalones that will eventually be series, but they don't have other books with them yet. There's Darwin's Evolution, which is military romantic suspense. There's Second Chance Succubus, which is a paranormal menage murder mystery with BDSM elements. There's a second one coming. I'm going to write the second one this year. There's Queen Bitch of the Calwood Pack. That is a paranormal romance with werewolves. That one's good to go. There's Her Devoted Vampire, the very first book I published, which is a paranormal romance with vampires. Lots of books for you to read. Lots of different. So if you like I can't forget the Concrete Angels MC. So snarky first-person bikers. There are 2 books in that series. With the 3rd one, I'm almost done with. It will almost be done. So those are the books that I have out right now, and there's 32 of them. So you have plenty of books that you can read, and they're in ebooks, so you can get them on any platform you'd like. Smashwords has them in all digital formats. Of course, there's on Kindle, Barnes & Noble, Kobo, and I think iTunes, although I don't own a Mac, so I can actually not see that. But they're also on Eden Books in all formats. I think having 2 on my virtual shelf waiting for my attention to review. Oh, yay, that's awesome. I need to read your military series. I like that one. That was fun. I had a really good time with that one. The very first one I wrote was a dream. Yeah, the Navy's Ghost was a dream. And I think, people ask me, what's your favorite books? And I don't have favorites because I've enjoyed writing all of them. But I always come back to Bronco's Rough Ride, which is the first one. And Bronco's Rough Ride connects to Second Chance Succubus. Just saying. But I always come back to Bronco's Rough Ride because I really like the female character. And I really like the interaction with the male character. And he's the Navy SEAL, but he's the victim. So it's kind of a different perspective on Navy SEALs and how they have to deal with stuff. So it is a great time to write, she says. It's a good time to write. Yes, ma'am. I will be finishing the 3rd one in the Concrete Angels MC series called Angel Inc. That's the one I'm finishing right now. The next one I think I'm going to write is the 2nd one in Second Chance Succubus. The second one will be called Second Chance Whiskey. So that one's the next one coming. And then I'm going to write a fantasy sci-fi one called, it doesn't have a title. It doesn't have a title. But it's coming. And it's about a person from our world who gets sent to this other world and suddenly finds out she has all these magical powers that she has no idea how to control. And then she runs into a dragon, except for she doesn't know he's a dragon. He looks human. Yeah, you know, first world problems, right? So take care of yourselves. Please, please, please take care of yourselves. Check the CDC website. Check the World Health Organization website for their latest news. They're going to be the best ones to learn from. The news, while they get some of the stuff right, don't get all of it. Johns Hopkins is another place to look for news on this and how to take care of yourselves. I don't have any information about how they're testing or if they're testing. We got the go-ahead that anyone who wants to be tested can, but I haven't heard any definitive information on that that is very useful. I've just listened to the news, and the news is not helpful in that. I wish you could do ebooks. I wish so too. The thing about going, if you have in terms of ebooks, if you have an account with Smashwords, you can get the PDF versions of my books, and then you can read them on a computer screen, right? You just get a PDF reader, and you can read them through the PDF. And so there is that. Even if it's not technically Kindle or EPUB, you can always read it as a PDF format through Smashwords. Smashwords will have all my books, every single one of them. Oh, well, except for the 3 that right now are in Kindle Unlimited. There are 3 in Kindle Unlimited, to give the lending library and stuff like that. But there's only 3 out of 32. But you can get the PDF versions of them and read, on a PDF, like Adobe Reader. Yeah. So, take care of yourselves. Self-isolate. Keep yourselves healthy. I'm thinking good thoughts, all y'all. I will try to keep posting on live posts like this, but also I've got to do my newsletter. I've been really lax about that because if we're really going to self-isolate, we need to do newsletters and a lot more. So keep your eyes on your email for that. If you would like to sign up for my newsletter, you can always go to ShavonMuir.com. Here, let me write that down. ShavonMuir.com/contact. It should have it. And you can read PDF on your phone. Absolutely. Yeah, I will hopefully catch you live for the Sunday morning tea somewhere between 10 and 11 a.m. Mountain Time. Today was not that case. Or the Saturday evening soliloquy somewhere between 5 and 6 p.m. Mountain Time, which is 4 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Mountain, 6 p.m. Central, and 7 p.m. Eastern in the U.S. I am on Facebook. I am on Twitter. I am on various other platforms. If you want to get a hold of me, you can always email me, muir.shavon@gmail.com. Shavon is spelled Siobhan. What is it? Sierra, India, Oscar, Bravo, Hotel, Alpha, November. Shavon. At gmail.com. So you can always find me there. I answer emails. Yeah, that's what I've got to say for all y'all. And I am writing. I am working on that. That's the nice thing about working from home. Take care of yourselves. Be well. Happy reading. And yeah, I'll see you next weekend. Hopefully with a better voice. But I'll talk to you later. Bye.